Hello, people. musicer13 with the first episode number whatever video about musicer13's music philosophy. I figured I'd take the first episode to cover a big one, somewhat controversial. My thoughts on music theory, how much you should know and use. Personally, I'm pro music theory. But I also think it depends on you as a person in terms of, do you really want to go deep into the rules of music and how it affects people, as opposed to just, I feel an emotion, let's get some chords together and just get that rawness out. I think that's a huge dividing factor between the rules. I got my little notebook ready to go with my points. I like to know the rules. Music theory, I don't consider laws, I consider them rules. Because I find every rule of music theory is meant to be broken. I mean, I love learning new rules and just going out of my way to break them. That is my ultimate goal with knowing music theory. Also, I think music theory as a whole, if you know it, you become a lot more self-aware of your writing. So, my favorite genre of music is the blues. I love the blues. If you look through a bunch of my songs, you'll see that, obviously, I love the blues. But then you'll see it in other obscure ways also in my music. So, Song Intertwined, it sounds just great and beautiful. I didn't know it was a 12-bar blues until I was almost done writing it, which is why I added that last part at the end, or my song Hiatus. I didn't know until, months after I wrote that it was actually just an A minor blues chord progression almost, or at least a bass line. I thought that was so cool. It took so long for that to snap with me, considering. And if I didn't know any theory, I didn't know that there was such thing as the A minor blues, just chord progression. Then I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know what patterns I'm following, and I wouldn't be able to break them for future reference, or know if I want to stick to it, or if I want to use it in my disposal. I also think that generally, theory gives you a lot more complexity in your chords. There's a lot of chords that you can't explain really, that you don't know what emotion it's showing. I love to use these chords, the major sevens, the nines, the plus nines, just weird stuff. You can't say, you can say a major is a happy emotion or a minor is a sad. I always hate when people make that comparison, but a lot of people love to say that, whereas these chords, there's no definitive emotion you can feel with them. It's really the atmosphere you set, and a lot of it comes down to the context. That's what I really like about theory. It's also what I kind of love about language, is it's not about the word or the note or the chord. It's about what comes around that chord, what's before it, what's after it. What notes did you change that make that chord different from another chord you could have played that's a note or two different from that chord? I think that's really important. I think it's also really good to know the advantages of just knowing theory, because since you're more self-aware, you know things like, I play by myself. I mean, I don't have a band or anything. So if I want to make a song on my baritone ukulele that goes from a diminished to an augmented chord, in the matter of just swapping from a diminished to an augmented chord, I don't have to worry about other people kind of trying to make the transition with me. I can just do it, and there's no boundary line that the rest of the band is setting, because I am the only boundary line, which creates a lot of kind of chaos in some of the sounds, and I love that. And you learn all these scales. You learn your basic major and minor, and you think if you're playing notes, you can just break it, right? That'd be the rebellious thing to do. You don't play either of those scales. But then you probably accidentally fall into other scales you don't know about, like the chromatic or the diminished. And I really like to know those scales as well, so I can just play literally anything. Like when I start a jam or something, if it's just like an A minor blues, I'll just start jamming over it in A minor, and then I'll go to the relevant major, and I'll start playing some diminished, and then I'll just add random notes, and I'll just kind of switch back between all of those options, and just expand and keep expanding, and I think it really helps the sound out, and it makes you a lot more unpredictable as a person, especially if you learn from your theory. I think it makes you a lot more predictable as an artist, being able to use theory when you want to, or break it at will. I declare the next point is emotion versus knowledge. Yes, that's the controversial one. So a lot of people say that learning theory takes the emotion out of the music or playing. I think that's not necessarily true. A lot of people say it gets rid of that raw emotion. And I guess I could see that to a degree, but I still don't think it's completely true. I think since theory takes a lot more thinking, you're allowed to create scenarios you wouldn't otherwise be able to show in a raw emotion, you know? Like a raw emotion is usually just anger or sadness, but you could also get something like guilt or confusion, and a lot of basic chords won't allow you to do that, really. So I love the expanded chords that come with knowing the theory behind them and knowing kind of what notes together kind of create a little bit of dissonance or a complete dissonance or harmonize really well. It really helps to create that sound, and I really think it's important. The other thing is feeling versus technique. So, writing down music for how you feel as compared to adding technique or writing music around a technique. I kind of tend to have this very somber, isolated, peaceful tone to my music. That's kind of what I think of it. Some people might see it as lonely and sad. It's really not even a perspective on just the sound of the music, but your philosophy in life and how you prefer to live. And if you like or hate my music, you may see it a different way. I mean, it's completely subjective, and I think that's kind of the cool part about it, is it can be interpreted so many different ways just by how your mind perceives your life as compared to other people's. So I think that'll be it for this one. If you have any ideas, you want me to talk about anything philosophical musically, I'm up for it. I just got to get my points together, and I'll probably make some editing to the format again. This is a new channel change up, so we're going to see where it goes, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'll catch you guys next time.